I'm a little behind, but I'm finally going to use the new Sigma Little Mermaid collection today. So Sigma does some kind of Disney collaboration every year. They've done Beauty and the Beast, Cinderella, Alice in Wonderland, and now Little Mermaid. So in this collection, we of course have the Little Mermaid palette. What I noticed right away is that they actually changed the size of this palette. So these Disney collabs used to be in this kind of palette that would come with a dual-ended brush, but they actually made the size of the palette now similar to my palette with Sigma. Now it's just like a nice little thin rectangle, and I like the size of this. I don't really like the bulkiness of having the brush in there, which is why I made my palette this way. Here is what the palette looks like. It is nice and colorful. It's almost kind of like a full rainbow. You know, we go from red, yellow, green, blue, purple. We have a matte black, love that. I know for sure we have some duochromes, maybe a multi-chrome in there. I'm definitely gonna swatch this before I put this on my eyes because I wanna see what we're working with. And then there's also a lip set that has 2 new hydrating lip oils and one of their lip creams. And then as always, they did do another little brush set where you get this really cute bag. I love like the reflect on this. It's actually really pretty. And then you have 2 eye brushes and a face brush. We have the E27, which is like one of my most used little small crease brushes, and then the E30 pencil brush. I love this one as well. And then the F44 powder sculpt. And then we have a blush and a highlighter. First of all, how cute are these compacts? I love that Sigma just like really went all out with the theme. The blush is called True Love. It's a vibrant pink matte blush. And then we have the highlighter in Seashell, and this is a soft pearlescent metallic. Let's get started with swatching this palette because I need to see what some of these duochromes and multi-chromes look like. This is Seagull. I have like a white shade that has a little bit of a greenish blue reflect in it. This is Sing. It's a little bit peachy, kind of reflective as well. And this one is Soft Shell. Now this formula feels very different. I'm wondering, is this the multi-chrome shade? There we go. Kind of took a second to blend that out. It almost feels more like a cream shadow than like a powder formula. I'm actually gonna look this up really quick. Okay, so it says Soft Shell is a red-orange duochrome. At first glance, I honestly don't love that shade, but I think if you paired it with some really warm browns, it could be a really gorgeous like fall makeup look. Next is Sea King. There we go. So there's your warm matte shade. Has a little bit of a sparkle in it, but it's more of a matte. This is Lover Boy. So a little bit of a softer brown, kind of a tan matte shade. This is Scroll. Ooh, that's pretty. So that is a gold green glitter. Honestly, like these 4 shades right here would make a beautiful look. This is Jumping Jellyfish. Ooh, this one's really smooth. Wow, that's so pretty. Oh, okay. I think we might have found a winner for today. The description says soft beige gold metallic, but I'm seeing purple. What are you seeing? Beige gold metallic? No, it's like purple and pink and blue. Okay, I'm confused on that shade description. This is Beautiful Voice. Ooh, that one's really smooth as well. Wow. And this is an emerald green metallic. I'm not like swatching these in order. I'm kind of swatching them how just like I want to. This one is Swimming. Ooh, okay. Again, this one feels like how this shade did, where it feels a little bit creamier. Okay, it's giving me like blue-brown vibes, which I always love. So that description says blue gold duochrome, but it definitely has like a warm base to it. Look at that on my finger. Wow. Okay, that might be a winner too. We got some good shades in here, guys. I also just love seeing Sigma do some colors. I feel like a lot of their palettes do just lean neutral and a little bit more soft, which is fine, but like this is fun. Next is 3 Days. Ooh, that's a bit brighter than I thought it'd be. I'm gonna build it up a little bit more, but this is a soft lilac matte. Oh yeah. Next is Treasure Trove. Wow. Okay, that one's really pretty too. I love a good like, okay, to me it looks purple, but I just looked at it in the monitor and you see blue. Interesting. This says it's a blue teal duochrome, but I'm seeing like purple blue. Wow. The last 3 shades are matte. So this is Deep Blue Sea. It's just like a really vibrant teal. This is Dark Magic. Oh, I love this shade of purple. You see that? It's not like a royal purple that you see a lot. It has a little bit of like dustiness to it. I'm gonna build that up a bit more. I feel like you don't really see that shade a lot, but that is gorgeous. And the last shade I'm just gonna put down here is a matte black, and this is Villainous. Okay, that's very pigmented. Wow, wow, wow. Okay, first impressions, just looking at the swatches, there is some good pigment in here. Like, I'm actually very excited to play with some color today. I think I'm leaning towards something a bit kind of purpley and cool toned, especially this shade, Jumping Jellyfish, maybe the lilac, maybe this purple. I definitely want to use this one, so probably more cool tone today is my vibe. Also, looking at the shade descriptions, remember I said there was one multi-chrome in here? So they're saying that this shade Seagull is a multi-chrome, where I feel like that is the shade that has the least amount of shift in it. So I gotta say, these shade descriptions, some of them do seem very off and not really correct. I'm not seeing any shift in that. Like, it's a really pretty shade. Let me go over that one more time here, but I would not call that a multi-chrome. I wouldn't even call that a dewy chrome. I wouldn't even call that a duochrome. So I don't know, some of these shade descriptions are a bit off, but the shades are still stunning, so I'm excited to put this on my eyes. All right, my eye is primed and ready for shadow, and we have some natural light today, which is always good. I'm gonna start with the Sigma E28 in the shade 3 Days. So I have the shadow on the brush like that, and I'm gonna start by patting this in my crease. Since this is a very light shade, I will have to do a couple layers of it to really show up in my crease right here, but that's pretty expected with such a light shade. And then once most of that shadow is off my brush, I'm gonna start to blend a little bit higher and just kind of soften out the edges of this shade. And because this shade is so soft and light itself, I don't really need something to help blend it out. It kind of blends out on its own. Now I'm gonna take a Sigma E42 in the shade Dark Magic, and I'm gonna use this to start to deepen up this outer part of my lid. I'm starting with a pretty light hand just because this shade is really dark and I don't want to like get a lot of fallout or anything. So I have the shadow on the tip of my brush, and I'm placing my brush down here on the very outer corner and then just very softly moving it around. I actually like that you can get a pretty soft look out of this shade because in the pan it looks a little dark and could be scary for some people, but you can get just a nice wash of color with this. Now I'm gonna go back to that E28 with a little more 3 Days on it and just kind of tap right on top of that deeper purple shade just to kind of soften it out. And then I did dip back into Dark Magic, and I'm just gonna build it up a little bit more. And then again, just softening with that E28. Okay, now I just have to pick up this Jumping Jellyfish shade on my finger. See, doesn't this look more like a multi-chrome to you? It does to me. Okay, the sun's about to come in here. And let's go on this inner part of the lid. That is so pretty. Okay, I knew these shades would look like perfect together. I love that. Then just taking my E28 with nothing else on it and just very softly blending in the crease right around that shimmer. Unfortunately, the sun is coming in quite a bit, so I have to close my curtains and switch to studio lighting. I apologize. Okay, well, I guess now you can see the eye look kind of in 2 different lightings. Again, they say Jumping Jellyfish is a soft beige gold metallic. No, it's not. It's a purple multi-chrome. Now I switch to an E30 pencil brush with more 3 Days on it, and I'm gonna run that across my entire lower lash line. And then picking up Dark Magic on that same brush and applying that to the outer part of my lower lash line. Actually, I'm gonna do the entire lower lash line. I changed my mind. But I am gonna add a bit more to the outer part of my lower lash line. So there's a bit of dark magic all along this, but I'm adding more out here. And I'm gonna take the E42 that I was using earlier and use that to soften this. And then I am building up dark magic just a little bit more on this very outer part of my top lid. Kind of right where it connects and like wraps around my eye right here. Next, I'm gonna take a tiny angled brush. This is the E06 with the matte black shade Villainous. And I'm just gonna stamp that along the outer part of my top lash line. And then dragging whatever's left over to the inner lash line. I kind of want to make the center of my lid pop just a little bit more, but I do love this shade all over the lid. I think it's absolutely stunning. But I kind of want to see what happens if I put a little bit of Seagull on top. So just a little bit like that, right in the center. There we go. It's kind of making it like a bit more sparkly and almost a bit more green looking because of that slight green reflect in here. I wanted to quickly show you what this looks like with just mascara for those of you who don't like to wear fake lashes like I do. I just use the Essence Call Me Queen mascara and I think it looks pretty good on its own. But you guys know me, I love a half lash, so I took the Bright Lashes style in All Naturel, and this is a full lash, and I just cut it into a little half lash, and that's what I have on the outer corner of my eye. Here's a final close-up of the eye look. Okay, I know I look crazy with one eye done, but I want to film this eye for short form content, but I want to have blush on while I do that. So I want to try the blush in True Love. Just a really pretty kind of brighter pink shade. This is a shade that I would wear, and I think it will go really nicely with this eye look. I'm taking that on my Sigma F12, and let's see here. I'm also very, very fair today. Like, this is the fairest I get, so I want to see how it looks on my skin tone. It's definitely a pretty pink. I do like that shade. Let me do the other side. I feel like I kind of have to build it up a few times to get the pigment that I want, but I'm also not mad about that because I kind of hate when you dip into a blush and it's just like overly pigmented. This one is not like that at all. So the highlighter is kind of one of those more like iridescent kind of shades, which is, yeah, I wouldn't wear this on my skin. On my eyes for sure. Like, honestly, I could, wait a second. Let me pop this on my inner corner. This is what this look needs. Okay, for a little inner corner highlight, I think that's pretty, especially with the purpley tones in this look. I don't think you can see this shift very well, but it's a very, very subtle shift. I just don't really like these type of highlights on my cheeks, but on the eyes, I could see that. Okay, I went ahead and finished the other eye. Now I feel much more symmetrical and even. I gotta say, I love how this eye look turned out. I feel like I haven't played with color in a minute, honestly, and I just love this. The soft, kind of cool toned, purpley, a little bit of like a blue-green reflect in there. I think it's stunning. I still have like 3 other looks in my mind that I could do with this palette that like just comes straight to me. So if you want to see some more looks, whether it's like a 2 looks or a 3 looks one video, let me know, because this is making me feel inspired right now and I love it. I think if you're someone that just loves The Little Mermaid in general, or you're just really drawn to this color story, I don't think you'd be disappointed. And I'm really happy to see Sigma branching out, doing something kind of fun and different with their colors. You know, we have quite a few duochromes in here. We have some fun shifts, so I'm happy about this palette. If you do want to check out anything from this collection, my code ANGELABRIGHT will save you some money on their website. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe.